Let's do it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get a little spot to paint in. Let me just show you guys around. There's this little trail, loops you all the way around. I can't get over it. It's just so lovely. Wow, look at that. Almost there. So I have arrived, but I'm standing in this line of cars to pay because it's like $2 to get in. It's just kind of funny that I'm standing on my bike in lines with all of the cars. Yeah, I could have drove, but I feel like it's just so much better when you bike, you know? Just my gears in the back. But yeah. Hey everyone, welcome to a beautiful nature park. I saw this like off trail into all these trees. I was just captivated by the way that the sun hits through the trees. It's just so beautiful to me. So inspired right now. I figured I'd take you on a sketchbook date today and we can paint right on location and I'll take you through my whole process. Anytime I arrived to a place, first things first, I roamed around and explored. I seem to be all alone in nature's playground. And I like to pretend I'm a little kid experiencing something for the first time. Why should we hold back as adults anyway? A little spot to paint in. Whenever you get into nature, you just have to sing to the trees. I love you, trees. I love you, trees. After hugging as many trees as possible, I was pretty much settled on a view. I love the way the sun hits these little greens and these little beautiful grape leaves. But I also love the way that the trees are framing this path. Kind of want to see if I could maybe do something with this path and maybe paint something, either landscape, but I'm gonna see what's gonna call me right now. Listen closely. Pretty much have my spot. It's pretty much illuminated and it's gorgeous. So today I've got some little travel brushes. I've got my gouache in this little tin set, and I really limited like what I brought today because I tend to sometimes bring too much. So here's what I got. Got my little easel with my little tin box. This is just from a random box that my dad helped me built this, and he 3D printed it for me. I've got my little water cup here, and I've got my little painting band. I'm just gonna wipe off some paint brushes here. And I'm actually gonna put out fresh paint into my palette. Today, I'm gonna do a quick sketch. And in my sketchbook, this is a watercolor sketchbook. I gessoed the pages over something that I didn't really like how it came out. So we're gonna paint over it today in nature. I'm super excited. Let's begin. Two different yellows, a little bit of a light one and a little bit of an ochre. That's a marigold yellow I like to use to cover the whole paper first and tone it. Ultramarine blue, just to see if I could try the Zorn palette, but in nature. And that's a Viridian I just added just in case. See what we could do with this. Pretty basic, but it should do the trick and should do nicely. Time to paint. Okay, just so I have like a nice glow, I'm gonna take a marigold yellow and I'm going to lightly coat this whole paper. Get rid of the white of the paper. And I kind of have a vision. It's sort of coming to me as I sit here more and more. I really want to capture this lighting. This is the #1 goal today. And try to create this like vertical panoramic view. Then I'm gonna let it dry. create these interesting blobs, and then we're gonna start painting on top. Sometimes I like to tone the paper with some color to ensure a nice light source and get rid of the white of the paper. Since the sun is setting and hitting directly at what I'm looking at, it's actually going to be nice to have a nice warm yellow underpainting. Also, I don't think I've ever painted with gouache on this specific paper before, so we'll see how it does. Once my underpainting dried completely, I began with a round brush to try and begin getting in some shadows. I mixed some blue and red and a little bit of orange to create this deep purple, orangey, brownish tone. The beginning stages can always feel a little shaky and you're just getting to know your subject. But to keep the process organized and simple, I tried to first focus on all the shadow areas that I saw, assigning all those shadow tones to one color, pretty much deciding it to be a deep purple/blue. Most of the time, I like to start my painting off with a giant flat brush to cover as much area as possible, and then I begin with a thinner brush and one that comes to a nice point since it can be very versatile, especially when you're out on location and you don't want to carry too much stuff with you. At this point, just building up all of the values and trying to get in as much as possible, getting in those shadow shapes. And it began to be very expressive and impressionistic and a little abstract. I loved having little visitors and bugs sit on the sketchbook, and I was just doing my best to take in the moment and let it translate through the art. Hey, we're gonna take a quick moment to stretch, a little dance break, and I want to let you guys know and quickly thank our sponsors of our video, Squarespace. If you don't already know, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform for you to build your website. Why do we need a website as an artist? Good question. For anybody who wants to know more about you or see more of your artwork or even get in contact with you. And guess what? Squarespace makes it super easy. It's super user-friendly. You just drag a bunch of images into your website template and you're good to go. And did I mention their award-winning templates? They're super awesome, make everything look super professional. So I definitely highly recommend. Oh, and the best part, it looks great on your mobile device because that's usually where people are going on your website from. Give it a try by going to squarespace.com, and when you're ready to launch, head over to squarespace.com/justcarp for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Okay, let's get back into it. So what I did first, I'm just actually laying out some of the trees that I see in their shadows. And the sun is coming over from the left now. It keeps changing as I am painting. But I'm just getting in these shadows, drawing in the negative space of the tree. And then I'm kind of working my way around as I paint. There's so many different trees and details and overlaps. Little branches that cross over. I'm just winging it. And I'm looking at the overall scene and I'm actually really looking what stands out as the darkest shadow to me first. So right now I'm trying to solidify some of the shapes and make sure that the picture is clean. I have shadows coming in here, and then the back, it has a beautiful light coming in. So what I'm trying to do is darken these right here and have a clear point on where these trees start. So it also just frames our painting. I've been going back and referring to a book by William B. Lawrence. He is a watercolor artist, and these words really stood out to me and stuck with me that I want to share with you. He
He wrote, "Don't paint what you see. Paint the excitement you feel for the subject. And if the excitement's not there, find another subject." Yep, let that sink in. As I kept adding to the painting, I had moments where I was switching over from the highlights and the shadows, but anytime I wanted to add a really nice bright highlight, I would just mix a bit more paint and less water, and then I was just looking at all these little wispies and elements in the trees and adding them as I saw them fit.
Whew, okay, I think I'm getting to a stage. First, I'm loving how it's looking. It's getting quite hectic though, but I think I'm almost there. Just trying to now take bits and pieces where the light is hitting and really accentuate and not over detail things and bring certain shapes together. And also add a little bit of greenery because certain sections do have little like green fuzzies. So I'm just getting these little details in now. So if you guys look, there are these little tiny strands. Trying to replicate it by doing these little light crosshatches on the paper, using a little bit of yellow and just trying to get that in over the blues for the shadows, and having that like work on top is really creating some nice textures. Just adding a bit of orange to certain sections to enhance the glow.
There's a certain point in the creative process where you have to stop yourself and call it done, especially when it's a sketch. Going with a bit more expressive approach and bold and a little bit impressionistic was not my usual, but I was definitely glad I came out and stayed to paint. Sometimes the feeling you get as you created overpowers everything.
All right, I think it is done. Crazy explosion today. But yeah, it was so much fun, and it's been a little minute since I sat out in nature, and I have to say this was incredible. I recommend this to everyone. I just can't wait to do more. All right, here is our palette. Nice little concoction. I always like to look at the palette after too, because it's pretty interesting to see like what happens after to our palette. It's time to pack up. We did it. Hooray, hurrah. Great success. Great success. Great success. Don't forget to celebrate yourself after you do something, because just the fact that you showed up to sketch, whether it's indoors or outdoors, is a big thing. And I have to remind myself that too.
Here's the finished sketchbook spread.
All right, everyone. Just want to say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for just all the support you guys do in the comments. For anyone who leaves any comments out into the shop and wishes that you guys send over to me over email, just my uttermost gratitude and thank you to you. And thank you, nature, for letting me paint with you today. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, all trees, I love you. I was just so over the moon painting today, and I'm very, very happy that I can share it with you. If you're not yet subscribed, if you like stuff like this, and let me know where you kind of want to see another sketchbook date. Where should we go? Drop them in the comments and check out some of these videos on the screen for you guys to continue watching some sketchbook dates. I'll make a playlist somewhere over here, and you guys could check it out. Time for me to go. I'm gonna get back on my bike and head out. I'll see you guys in the next one.